Oh, the joy of corporate jargon. I've seen a lot of stuff recently about the return on investment in legal design. A gorgeous metric that executives love. It's not an inherently bad question, but it's the wrong question. It's not normally about actual return on investment. Generally, when we're thinking about this stuff, we need to think about both visible and invisible costs. So think about software development. Any idiot can, and often does, put together a new feature and shoves it out the door by cutting every corner in sight. They're not going to bother to check if the feature is needed or useful. We're not going to test it with users. We're not going to design it properly. We're going to make sure it functions well on different systems. I mean, that's for people who care about quality. We care about speed. It's about moving fast and breaking things, and that explains much about the world we live in today. The problem is what happens next, and it's generally chaos. Other people have to pick up the pieces. They've got to field the support calls and unravel the mess. They're working overtime to fix it. And because they're doing that, they're not working on other stuff. It looks fast, but it's actually slow and costly. So the visible cost is how quickly the feature was launched. The invisible cost is the massive amount of time and effort spent fixing it once you launched it. Now let's transpose that to a legal setting. The current state of affairs is like that software feature. It's basically rushed, half-baked and riddled with errors. The visible cost is, well, we got the thing out of the door. The invisible cost is the time sinks and the frustrations. People are hunting for content and deciphering really complicated documents. They're dragging out negotiations and, generally speaking, unreadable nonsense has been churned out for customers. Unreadable from the customer's point of view. And these hidden costs are really hard to pin down, but they're very, very real. So how do we tackle it? First of all, we want to change the conversation. It's about processes, not about some number on a spreadsheet. You've got to highlight those massive invisible costs that everybody conveniently ignores. If you've got examples from your own firm, that's even better. Make it personal, make it sting. Next, we point to the research, and there is lots and lots of evidence that lawyers prefer documents that don't require a cryptographer to decode. I'll stick a link in the comments. Don't try and overhaul everything overnight. Take baby steps. Start with clearer language. Tackle small documents first. Introduce a bit of user research. Maybe we do a little bit of before and after research to show metrics for how the clearer language has benefited users compared to how it was before. Use visual design, prototyping and testing as you scale up, both in terms of your implementation of legal design within the firm and the scale of documents that you're tackling. It's incremental, but it's manageable and it works. ROI, questions about ROI, are very rarely about ROI. They're about change management and risk mitigation. And this is how we need to reframe the question in order to get legal design introduced effectively into organisations.